Hi Aquarius, welcome to your love reading for July 2019. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. I've already shuffled the decks, and as you can see, you had quite a few jumping cards. Let me show you what they are. The first card that jumped is the Two of Cups. I'll go ahead and show them all to you. The Two of Cups, the World, the Ten of Coins, and the last card that jumped is a Chariot. So you had the Two of Cups, and I feel like for many of you, you already found your soulmate. This is the soulmate card. This means that you have a very strong bond with somebody. There's someone that you're very much in love with. You want to hold on to this relationship. There is some type of change around this relationship. You have the World, which means there can be some type of ending, so that there could be a new beginning, although the ending might be the end of arguments, the end of conflict. This is usually a positive card, which ties in with this one, the Chariot, which is a major arcana of big changes, significant movement around your love life. This is a card of victory. You also have the Ten of Coins, which can represent marriage. It can represent commitment. It can also represent just a sense of stability in your relationship or in your marriage. Okay, so these were all just jumping cards. Let's put them back in there, and we'll see if any of these come up again. This is a love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July 2019. The first card you have, Aquarius, is the Ten of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Two of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Strength. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Knight of Coins. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. King of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Death. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Eight of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. Ten of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for July. And the Knight of Cups. What's the most important thing that Aquarius needs to hear about their love life for July 2019? The message that you have, Aquarius, is the Three of Cups. So the Three of Cups does represent good times, happiness, joy, laughter. This can represent marriage, children, but considering what you have going on here, I do see a theme in this whole spread. I feel like you will be happy again, regardless of what you're going through right now. So we'll come back to this card to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. If you would like a private reading with me, just go to my website, channelguidance.com, and I'll put a link down below. Okay, so you have Ten of Wands, Two of Swords, and Strength. So it seems like the sign of Aquarius is tired of something. There is something that's weighing down your relationship. You have the Ten of Wands. This represents some type of burden. It represents just kind of something that is just, it's weighing on you. And usually with this card, you feel like giving up. For some of you, you did have the World jump for you, which does represent endings. Some of you might be considering leaving a relationship. It's either you or it's your partner, because you also have a really difficult decision here. So again, there is something weighing down your relationship or your marriage, and you're stuck. You do have a Strength card telling you to be patient. This is about not jumping the gun. This is saying kind of let things calm down. Don't react from your ego. Don't get angry. Don't get frustrated. Try to look at things from a different light. But it really does seem that you're tired of something. There's something that is weighing down your happiness, your relationship. And for many of you, you don't know what to do about it with the Two of Swords. You're stuck. Usually with the Two of Swords, you have to decide, or you have to take some type of action, or nothing's going to change. And since this is a general reading, you'll have to ask yourself, what does this mean for me? Are you tired of a partner that is not coming through for you? Do you feel like somebody's leading you on? Is it a marriage where you're the one putting all the work? You're the one doing all the work? I mean, with the Ten of Wands, you're just fed up, and you feel like just throwing in the towel. You feel like you don't know if you want to do this anymore. But you do have some type of decision that you have to make for the month of July. Now, in the next row, you have the Knight of Coins, the King of Wands, and Death. So here you do have a fire sign, which would be Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can be your partner. This can be your ex. It can even represent your energy if you have a moon or rising and a fire sign. I forgot to say that you also have the Strength card over here, which also represents the sign of Leo. So for some of you, there could be a Leo involved here. Again, a partner or an ex. Okay, even somebody new coming into your life. You also have Death, which can represent the sign of Scorpio. But overall, I mean, I feel like because it's lined up here, the King of Wands with the Two of Swords, you have to take action. The King and the Queen of Wands are about action. passion, enthusiasm, going after what you want, making things happen. If you don't take the lead and creating some type of big transformation in your love life, then things are going to change very slowly. You have the Knight of Coins. This is slow progress. This is kind of baby steps, things moving along very, very slowly. So if you want things to happen fast, if you need to see some type of change in your relationship, you have to start by being the King of Wands. You have to take the lead, because otherwise you have stuck energy here with the Two of Swords. So I feel like you're tired of something. Maybe you're tired of somebody not coming through for you. Maybe you're tired of somebody dragging their feet. Maybe you're tired of lies. For everyone's going to be different. You can do something about it, but it has to be you. Otherwise, things will move really slowly. You also have Death. So Death means, again, this ties in with the card that jumped for you, the World. The World is a card of endings, but Death is a card of endings and new beginnings. So there can be a huge transformation in a relationship where you're fed up, you're tired, you feel like you're just burnt out, maybe from all the arguments, the conflict, a relationship or marriage that is stuck. There can be a huge transformation, but somebody has to take the lead in making things happen. Otherwise, things are going to change really slowly, and you're probably going to be even more fed up and just tired of the whole thing. Now down here, it's like the same story. The messages continue. There is stuck energy around the sign of Aquarius. Either way, you have the Two of Swords and now you have the Eight of Swords. You feel like there's no way out of your situation with this card. You feel like I'm powerless. Maybe you feel powerless because you feel like you can't change your partner's mind. You can't make them act. You can't make them do what you want them to do. And of course you can't. Only they can make that decision. But the Eight of Swords is someone who is trapped mentally. There's really nothing holding you back. There's really nothing holding your partner back. I mean, you also have the Ten of Swords right next to it. So, I mean, this usually means there's been something painful that has happened in a relationship or marriage. You've been hurt, you've been betrayed, stabbed in the back. But it is a message that it's time to move on. For some of you, yes, it can be, and maybe you're just fed up and you just want out of a relationship or a marriage. I mean, that won't be for everyone, but usually this card means it's time to go and it's time to move on. Maybe some of you want to move on, but you don't know how. Like, you don't know maybe how to let this person go. Maybe you've been together for a long time. Maybe you're married. Maybe you have children. But, I mean, keep in mind that this also just means that someone's being held back by fear, and it can represent your partner. Someone is in a mental prison. And the Ten of Swords can also mean that it's just time to let old pain go. It doesn't, for some of you, it can be a person, but sometimes it just means it's time to let go of the hurt or the pain. Maybe that is something that's happened in your marriage or your relationship, because you also have the Knight of Cups. So this is what you want to see. Your relationship can continue to move forward. All the Knights represent change and movement, and this Knight is your love life. This could even be an opportunity to work things out in a relationship where there was, a lot of hurt and a lot of pain. It could even be, a relationship moving forward where you've not been able to let go of this person. Maybe you've not been able to stop thinking about them. And maybe you have felt powerless as far as working things out or getting them back into your life. We'll see when we do the X spread. But I do feel like the sign of Aquarius, like you have some type of decision hanging over you. There's something that you need to do if you want to see this big transformation in your love life. Let's get a few more. What other messages are there for the sign of Aquarius for July? We have the Four of Cups. What other messages are there for the sign of Aquarius for July? Knight of Wands. What other messages are there for Aquarius for July? The Fool. Yeah, I mean, it's the same message. The cards are repeating themselves this month for you. Let's take a look at these last three that I pulled. I see that you're unhappy with something in your love life. The Four of Cups means that you're starting to kind of turn inward. You're starting to kind of withdraw from your partner because you're feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, and you're wondering, can I do better? Is this all I'm going to get? And this usually means that you're kind of feeling more depressed and miserable. You're feeling depressed, and you're starting to wonder, can I do better than this? You do have this message that you have to take action. So this ties in with the King of Wands. The Knight of Wands means that if you want to get this energy out of your life, if you're tired of being unhappy, unfulfilled in a relationship, then you need to set a goal. What is it you want to change? The Knight of Wands goes after what he wants. This is about self-confidence and enthusiasm and refusing to give up. That is the key word, refusing to give up. Because there can be a new beginning. You have the Fool. A major arcana of new beginnings. But this does mean you have to trust yourself. You You have to trust your heart. You have to trust your intuition. And I feel like for some of you, I mean, it's hard to say in a general reading, but I get a strong feeling some of you are tired of your partner. Like there's something that you just like, I don't even want to do this anymore. And some of you like, this is my I don't care anymore card. Some of you don't care anymore what happens and you just want out. Now, for those of you where you just want out of a relationship, you're being told to trust. So if your feelings are saying, I don't really love this person anymore, I think I should move on, I think I can do better, then trust that. But again, if your feelings are saying, you know, we can work this out, the Knight of Wands, if you're willing to try, because this is all about not giving up, then trust your intuition, trust your feelings. There is some type of significant new beginning because this is a major arcana, but this is all about trusting yourself. Okay, so let's get a few more in the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Aquarius for July? You have the Chariot. What other messages are there for Aquarius for July? The Strength card, which is a repeat card because you have it right here. What other messages are there for Aquarius for July? And the Knight of Cups, which is also a repeat card. Okay, what's the most important thing that Aquarius needs to hear about their love life for July 2019? The Hangman. So the Hangman is feeling stuck. So you have this energy now 3 times. The Two of Swords is being stuck. And the 8 of Swords also represents being stuck. To some extent, also, the 10 of Swords means that you're stuck. You're not moving on from something painful. So that is a huge message. For some reason, the sign of Aquarius, you're not moving forward. You feel in limbo as far as your love life. You feel like there's something going on that you can't change. You feel powerless. Now, the Hangman is about changing the way that you're thinking. Because you do have the Strength card as a repeat card right here. There's 2 of them. But something's going on where you feel like you're just in limbo. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backward. You're stuck for some reason. Keep in mind the main energy from the other deck was the 3 of Cups. So you can be happy again. I just feel like for many of you, it's whether you're going to be happy or not, that's going to be totally up to you and what you do. Let's look at these 3. So you have the Chariot. The Chariot is, you know, this is victory. This was one of the cards that jumped for you at the beginning of the reading. The Chariot means that there can be a lot of movement and a lot of changes in your love life. But it does mean you have to stay in the driver's seat. So that's something I've been saying over and over, especially with this King of Wands and the Knight of Wands. You have to stay in control. Otherwise, things will spiral out of control. For some of you, this can also represent the sign of Cancer. The Chariot represents a sign of Cancer. It can be your partner or your ex. But it does mean that you can move forward. You can move forward if you hang in there. You have Strength 2 times. Same card, different deck. And again, the Strength card can also represent the sign of Leo, especially because you have the King of Wands here. It can be somebody new coming into your life, an ex, your current partner. But also, this just means you have to be brave. So, I mean, regardless of your situation, your marital status, I feel like the sign of Aquarius is going through a big change where it's going to be whatever you decide. So you have to be brave. You have to have courage. You have to hang in there to make the changes that you know you have to make. And then you can move forward. This is also a repeat card. Knight of Cups. This is your love life continuing to move forward. This can even be for some of you, somebody new coming into the picture, proposing a new relationship. It can even represent a marriage proposal. This is an opportunity. Keep in mind, it can also just be an opportunity to be happy because you did have that message from the main energy from the first deck. You can be happy again, regardless of what's going on in your love life right now. But again, I'm going to say it's whether you're going to be happy or not, that's going to be up to you and how many changes you make. Because there is a lot of stuck energy around you. You're fed up. You're tired of something. You're tired of something. That's what the cards are screaming. There's stuck energy around you. And it's time for a big transformation. But you're the only one that can make this change happen. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Using this deck right here. I've already shuffled it, so let me get these out of the way. And as always with the X spread, it can represent someone you had a long-term committed relationship with, but can also just be someone that you dated and you just want to know if you're going to hear from them again. Okay, so here's the deck. Show me the energies around Aquarius and their ex for July. 8 of Cups. Aquarius and their ex for July. 4 of Wands. Aquarius and their ex for July. 7 of Wands. Aquarius and their ex for July. The Emperor. Aquarius and their ex for July. 10 of Pentacles. Aquarius and their ex for July. And Judgment. Okay, so let's stop here. So, I mean, it's kind of interesting here that you've got the Seven of Wands and the Eight of Cups, because the Eight of Cups represents a goodbye. This represents this person leaving your life. Again, we're looking at exes only. So the Eight of Cups, this is someone who chose to walk away because they were no longer happy. Perhaps you have the Seven of Wands. Perhaps there's something that you need to confront there. The Seven of Wands usually comes up when you're not being treated fairly. You're being kind of walked all over, and it's time for you to speak your truth. So I feel like for many of you, you will have that opportunity to confront your ex, especially if there was something that was really painful, because you did have the Ten of Swords in the first spread, some type of betrayal, being stabbed in the back. If that's what happened to you, I mean, I definitely see you confronting your ex in the month of July. For some of you, it could be that maybe you're just having the chance to kind of confront them and let them know that you still care, because you have the Four of Wands in between both of these cards. And the Four of Wands does represent a relationship, commitment. It can even represent marriage. So, but I mean, I also get that with the Eight of Cups. This can also just be that it's time to leave old emotional baggage in the past. And maybe you both need to confront this with the Seven of Wands. So, I mean, that opportunity, regardless of what happened between you, you have it lined up here. Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is also a relationship, stability. It's there for you. If you can get past what happened, if you can get past this goodbye here, which is the first card that I pulled for you. So for some of you, you've maybe not had a chance to confront your ex. Maybe you don't really understand why they broke up with you. With that Seven of Wands, you will have a chance to really speak your truth and stand your ground. And I mean, usually with the Seven of Wands, you're laying down kind of certain rules. Like maybe, if you do this again, we're going to break up again. The Seven of Wands is really kind of fiery energy. You're speaking up for yourself. You're speaking your truth. Perhaps about this goodbye with the Eight of Cups. Now you also have the Emperor. This was something that I said over and over in the first spread. The Emperor is about you taking control. This is about you taking charge of the situation with your ex. It can represent stability, especially with the Ten of Pentacles right next to it. Maybe the second time around, you will have the stability that you didn't have the first time around. Because the Ten of Pentacles was one of the cards that jumped also at the beginning of the reading. You also have Judgment, which, I mean, this is telling you that you can have a second chance with your ex. I mean, especially the Judgment card, because it's a major arcana of relationships coming back to life. So again, this is a reading for exes only. So this is what you want to hear. There is an opportunity here to get things back on track. There is an opportunity to bring this relationship back to life. There's a strong sense of stability right here. There's a strong sense of stability. Again, if you kind of had an off and on relationship, maybe there was, a lot of coming and going, maybe a lot of conflict, a lot of arguments, there can be commitment, there can be stability this time. But with the Emperor, you do have to take control, especially because it came right after the Seven of Wands. You have to confront your ex, not in a nasty way, but maybe you have to lay down certain rules. You have to really kind of confront the issue that broke you up. But there's a strong sense of relationship energy here. You can be happy again. Let me get a few more for you. Let's see what other messages come up. What other messages are there for Aquarius about their ex for July? The Page of Swords. So this ties in with the Seven of Wands. There is some type of truth that somebody needs to speak. It could be you or it could be your ex. What other messages are there for Aquarius about their ex for July? Yeah, the Two of Cups. This is another one of those jumping cards at the beginning of the reading. There is still that connection with your ex. That soulmate connection. And this could very well be what you're hearing in the month of July. The truth. Like, I still love you. I'm still thinking about you. The truth. Honest communication came out with the soulmate card. What other messages are there for Aquarius about their ex for July? Another page. The Page of Pentacles. So there is a strong sense of communicating with your ex in the month of July. I mean, 2 pages surrounding the soulmate card. So I feel like you'll be discussing your feelings with your ex. Someone will be very honest. It could be you or it could be your ex. Also see you exploring the possibility of getting back together with the Page of Pentacles, because this represents looking deeper, looking very closely at a situation, and what you're looking at is your connection with this person. Somebody will be studying their feelings, kind of studying the possibility of becoming a couple again, especially with the Judgment card here, saying that there can be a second chance for you and this person. And again, a relationship energy going down the entire center of the reading. Four of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, Two of Cups. But communication needs to happen. There has to be honest communication, and you have to look very carefully at what happened with your ex. And I feel like both of you will be kind of making a decision if you will work things out. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to singles using this deck right here. I've already shuffled it, so let me get these out of the way. And for the single spread, if you're kind of somewhere in between single and waiting for your ex, maybe you want to know if there's going to be somebody else, then you definitely want to watch this. Okay, show us the energies. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new partner in the month of July? You have the Hierophant. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new romantic partner in July? Four of Cups. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new romantic partner in July? The Devil. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new romantic partner in July? The Ten of Wands. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new romantic partner in July? The High Priestess. Can the sign of Aquarius meet a new romantic partner in July? The Ace of Swords. So it's kind of a clear message here that if Aquarius is going to meet somebody new in the month of July, there has to be a change of perspective. I feel like for many of you, you've been through some type of like really very difficult relationship. Like maybe somebody really betrayed you and somebody really hurt you. Yes, there is an opportunity to meet somebody, because the first card that I pulled for you is a Hierophant. This represents kindred spirits and soulmates. This is finding the person that you truly, truly belong with. It's here. It's the very first card that I pulled for you. This also represents, a spiritual connection with someone. This does represent the sign of Taurus. So for some of you, it can be a Taurus, male or female. But I see the sign of Aquarius being, you're just unhappy. There's a sense of unhappiness here. Maybe you're bored with everyone that you're meeting. This is a card of boredom and almost not caring. I think this card came up in the first spread that I did. This is feeling just kind of blah. Like, I don't really care if I meet anybody anymore. Maybe you become really pessimistic. Here you go, the Devil. Keep in mind, the Devil also represents the sign of Capricorn. For some of you, there can be a Taurus or there can be a Capricorn. But with the Four of Cups here, for many of you, you just become kind of sour and you just kind of have a negative outlook when it comes to relationships. But this is something that you can change. Let me just jump here. The Ace of Swords. This is a change of perspective. Like, you've got to change the way that you're thinking. Otherwise, this, kind of soulmate that I see here won't come in. I feel like they're trying to come in, but the sign of Aquarius is kind of in a very pessimistic place when it comes to love. Almost like you don't care anymore. Maybe you're just kind of keeping to yourself with the Four of Cups. And then you have this. This was, I think, the first card that I pulled for you in the first spread. You're tired. This is a card of just feeling completely fed up and feeling like you don't really know if you want to look for somebody new, because maybe you keep meeting like the same kind of person over and over and over. You've got to trust your intuition. You have the High Priestess. So if your intuition is telling you this is the month where you can meet somebody, again, you have that major arcana, kindred spirits and soulmates. You have to trust your intuition. Do you keep getting the feeling that there is somebody new coming around? Either way, this person will come in. It's a matter of when you change your perspective with the Ace of Swords. All the aces are new beginnings, but this is a new way of thinking. The old way of thinking is going to keep you single, and you don't want that, because there's a lot of darkness here. There's pessimism, there's fear, there's negativity, negative thoughts, negative behavior patterns. You're unhappy, you're feeling like, well, I don't really care anymore. This is a card just feeling numb and fed up. So that's kind of like a general message for the sign of Aquarius. But there can be somebody here with the Hierophant. I mean, a major arcana of soulmates. Let me get one last card for you. What final message is there for the sign of Aquarius, for those looking for a new relationship for the month of July? Yeah, you've got to get past the pain, because I know this card came up in the first spread. The very first spread that I did, that is kind of like a general love reading. It can be for singles, it can be for those waiting for their ex. I mean, it was there. Here it is. If you go back and look, this was in the first spread. And again, this is for singles, but there's something that you're not moving on from. Maybe some of you have not moving on. You've not yet given up maybe on an ex, or maybe you have moved on, but you're still kind of carrying that pain around with you. That's the burden that I see here. Again, there can be somebody new, but it's time for you to change the way that you're thinking. In some way, with the Ten of Swords, you've not moved on from something. You're refusing to pick yourself up and meet new people. So it's going to be totally up to you if you're changing your mind, if you're changing your perspective. Okay, Aquarius, this has been your love reading for July 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.